So I asked him, did your mom ever teach you any manners? So he said, oh, my mom died. I'm like, I'm sorry, but when she was alive, I didn't even finish that statement. The guy took a white cup bottle and hit my head over here. Some parts of Kenya, a girl gets her period, kuna mali wanaekango, wanachimba shimo, wanakalia. 2024. And I want to remind the baby boomers and Generation Y. I want to remind you something. We are the generation that doesn't forget.
Yeah.
We remember everything you said because we took it in. But it's so painful to hear that we can actually tax the nation into prosperity. Natazamia binguni. I'm working for my heavenly home. Hata juzi niliombea watu niko nimeongezewa swimming pool na aquarium in heaven. Moz. But I don't remember most of my uni. I was drunk in uni. Skumbuki. I had this urge to go to church. But when I looked at my wardrobe, this is when I knew for real nimepotea. I had nothing church-like to wear. Pastor wangu aliniambia neck up ni sawa, so nikimitimse. So, Pastor wangu aliniambia hivyo. Unless uko na corrections, post in the comments.
What do you think?
Buddha, it's Kali, but I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Really nice.
This is it.
In Christian, sorry. What the heaven?
That's Let me tell our viewers and our listeners that if you hear background noise, like twice a week, we have these kids who come into our space and they just have a good time in the football pitches, you know. So that's why you're hearing the background noise. But we love kids.
We love kids.
It doesn't bother me. You know, I'm like, they're having so much fun.
Right.
I wish.
And the pitches are so cool.
Yeah. They're really well done.
Hakuna vumbi.
Hakuna vumbi. If we had these facilities when we were growing up, tungekuwa tukicheza ball London.
Tungekuwa mbali.
Tungekuwa mbali sana.
And
London. But karibu sana.
Sana.
You know, wacha nilikuwa nakuuliza kwanza kama ushaisikiza hii podcast.
Nishasikiza hii podcast, especially
Ukweli Kagiri.
Ukweli. Nimesikiza episodes. Ya Lena, of course, lazima ninge watch.
You're not cheating.
Yes.
Say the truth and shame the devil.
Ya Lena nili watch. But can you catch ni hizo ma reels kwa Instagram, then unaenda kwa YouTube.
Yeah.
I know. Wazadi watch kadhaa.
I like it.
Alafu ile kuna msali ongeju ya Mjulus. Sasa nani?
Sexy.
Sexy. Yeah. So those things that basically like those interesting things make you
want to watch it.
Yes.
That's so good, Bana.
Yeah. So Lodge.
It's really nice to have you here.
Yeah, umefanya about over 40 episodes.
Man, you with it.
Yeah, niko ndani.
Let me tell you what you've done. You've gone ahead and you've just done a career. Let me see how many. That's what probably you were doing just now before.
Where?
As you're telling me,
you can check search history.
I probably do not want to do a search history on your phone.
Photos and it is Harvard. I don't go there.
How did you feel when you said that yesterday about the demonstrations?
Let me just say,
on Tuesday.
Maze, my heart is broken by this. Staki kulia ni haribu makeup.
Let's talk. Yeah, let's talk.
Staki kuharibu makeup. But it's so painful to hear that we can actually tax the nation into prosperity.
Yeah.
And this was the plan. But I like that I'm in a generation that doesn't forget. You know, I feel like our parents, you guys, ni watu kusahau na kusameheana. As we don't, we remove receipts. We're a generation for receipts. Millennials and Gen Z, we are all about receipts. We remember.
Yeah.
We don't hate you. And man, my heart is so broken.
Yeah.
So, okay, because the one that they're really banking on is the whole sanitary towels.
Yeah. And
you saw even one of the senators saying how she uses tampons. So, Ata, she doesn't even care. But sanitary towel companies in Kenya are mostly, zikipita sana, ziko 4-5.
Yeah.
So those ones are the ones you want to compete. There's no competition in the industry because we
No.
can't even afford
Yeah.
to set up this thing. Most me, I wanted to set it up.
Mhm.
I actually have a company.
Mhm.
Now today you're learning I have many companies.
I'm gonna learn more
I
about
have
you.
a company.
Yeah.
It's registered. It's called Flourish.
Mhm.
And Flourish is like flow,
Mhm.
rish.
Okay. You didn't have to be graphic, but it's okay.
No, but that's what it is about,
Yeah.
by the way.
Mhm.
And I even had people who are willing to work with me and journey with me. But when we were doing the statistics, visiting manufacturers.
Yeah. For the sanitary pads here.
You know, they said, let's take a break for the economy to balance kidogo. I have receipts. It's not a story I'm telling you.
Mhm.
This is, and why I wanted to set it up is because I had such a good experience in the States
Mhm.
when I had my period.
Mhm.
Because nilikuwa na such a variety to choose from in terms of pads. Zingine ni refu. Hata unalala usiku unageuka. Auamki kama umestain.
Mhm.
And so I was like, Kenyans need this thing.
Yeah.
So I set up the company. I sold the vision to a couple. And they were like, we want to support you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sana, by the way, in case they watch this. Because they are really good people.
Mhm.
But the figures I was coming with after visiting factories to
Yeah.
work with. And then now we're at
Like the cost implication
the
for
cost
you.
implication to set up. And I wanted to do local manufacturing.
Yeah.
I did the whole China thing. In fact, we have a mutual friend who was living in China, Tawanda.
Yeah.
Tawanda ran around.
Looking for
looking
factories.
for quotations and companies and everything.
Yeah.
And then now I came to Kenya and I started trying to look for a partner to work with. I even called this Binti Pads. DJ Banz has been working very well with them.
Yeah.
And I asked him about it and I even tried the sample. I'm like, this is so good. But it's still something that's brought and packaged because manufacturing in Kenya
Is a problem.
is a problem.
Yeah.
So what's the solution? Like, I don't understand. Like, I'm just hearing. Anyway, I don't want to go too much into it, but it's something that really discouraged me as an upcoming entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Flourish will still flourish. Amen.
Yes.
But
It's gonna come to life.
it's going to come to life,
Mhm.
but not without me saying anything about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What pains you the most? I guess the sanitary pads is one that's close to you.
it is. Because
And it should.
there's a time growing up, we were not poor.
Mhm.
And this is my side of the story. I'm not saying this on behalf of my sister. My sister lived in a different generation. But most you can only afford one packet of pads.
Yeah.
Because pads that time I think they were 140 or something.
Mhm.
So what you do, you buy pads and you buy cotton wool. So you kunja the cotton wool like another pad on top of the pad. So you throw away the cotton wool, you stay with the pad so that you don't use too many pads.
Wow.
And the people, even that one packet I'm talking about affording, they couldn't afford.
Wow. Now how much more?
And I can't not nyesha.
Yeah.
Like hatuwezi stop, we can't pause.
Yeah.
Unless tupatie si wote mashindano, sijui. No.
Mhm.
So it's not only close to my heart, it's something that's so... There's something called anti-flow in the States also, I noticed. They have tampon and pad dispensers
Yeah.
in bathrooms.
Yeah.
States sikuwa na shida kubuy pads. Pads are cheap. In fact, nikisikia mtu akienda state home, musema niletee pads, zile always refu na
Yeah.
tampons.
Yeah.
It won't even cost them $20.
They've made it easily accessible for their people.
Because it should be.
It should be. It should be a human right.
In fact, wachana, and I want to add this. Wachana na wasichana wa tuko job sisi.
Mhm.
Watu wa primary na high school hawafai kununua pads.
Yeah. They should be provided for them in the
Yes.
schools.
You start your period in school, it's a mess. Me started my period at 11,
Mhm.
class 5.
Mhm.
At least I had my mom and I was close to her. I remember my mom actually washed my panty. Because I
Wow.
was so embarrassed and I was like, should I tell her? My mom washed my panty, by the
Yeah.
way. I respect that woman so much. She's taken me and she taught me this is how you survive now with this.
Yeah.
And of course, in their era, it was worse.
Mhm.
But that's nothing to talk about and compare. We are woke now. We are aware.
Yeah.
And so when I hear a man talking about it, Nana solution. I know Gloria Oroba did the most crazy thing.
Yeah.
But now we have your attention. Now we have your attention. Hata kichunwa chicks na president.
Yeah.
Ni sawa.
So
But
my wife, when Debs came here, one of her responsibilities, so her grandparents had come as
missionaries.
missionaries.
Yes.
And so when she came, the grandparents asked her, "What can you do to help the young teenage girls who are dropping out of school because one, they can't afford school fees, or they have to go sell their bodies to be able to get sanitary pads. Like they have to prostitute themselves to get sanitary pads. And so when I think about that, she started a project many years ago. This is like over 20 years ago. But the same problem is here with us.
20 years.
20 years
two
later.
decades.
We're still talking about it. And the fact that there's still young girls. There's a time we went to do a show in Kibra. And the young girls, they're like, what other options do we have unless we...
Moz, I was in Gomongo. Gomongo and not Huruma. It's called what? Dandora, Gomongo, that area. And we got a chance to do some ministry while I was at Hope FM. With girls. They were brought like 1,200 girls. So we separated 18 and below and now 18 and above.
Yeah.
And these girls were like, amwelewi. Like, thanks for the packets. Thanks. But mi nikiwa na do, senda kubuy hizi vitu. And this, the people who have come with such good ideas, thank you for reusable pads. But I think it's so difficult. Like, do you understand already it's a hard time of the month? And then now you have to spend time cleaning still after yourself. Like, I feel like, I don't know. I just think we need to understand what it is. That it means for a woman in her reproductive era. And at some point, the government has decided not to do anything about it. That's the truth. There are a few people here and there. Here, Tanga. Not the party, but kuna hapa, we'll do this project, we'll do this. But individuals have stepped up. People like Hills for Pads. People, there are many people. They've stepped up and they've come. You talked about Debs also, finding somehow to do about it. KK Cup also did something about it. And many other people. Thank you all.
Yeah.
But this is a national crisis.
Yeah. And this is just
that
one.
A girl will miss school. Mwalimu atajua ati hiyo siku sitafundisha hii. And then, girls, we inject at the same time. We infect each other. So like in an office, by the way, you'll notice. When you stay in an office for some time, it's a hormonal thing. By the way, it's so funny. Or even your best friend, the person you spend time with most, your cycles, they start.
Yeah, I was going to say something that was like, shut up, Moz.
Just say it.
No.
This is the DJ Moz Podcast.
I will be castigated by all the women watching this. So continue, please.
No.
Siezi. Yeah.
It's okay. But if guys didn't know that, so what happens is that cycles zinaanza kukaribiana.
Yeah.
So there's like a whole week of school in a place madem hawako. In Kenya, some parts of Kenya, a girl gets her period, kuna mali wanaekangwa, wanachimba shimo, wanakalia. 2024.
Wow.
You sit there, you finish your period, ingetuka hizo shimo, unaletewa labda food, kama iko.
I hear you.
So, Moz,
I hear you.
I feel like some things we say, it's like we don't understand the weight of it.
Yeah.
Like a period cramp. Someone was comparing to, if a man was given the same pain for a period cramp, it's like a heart attack. It's too much. That season, our hormones are everywhere. Everything's just going, like the only thing you can do is make it peaceful.
Yeah.
But I don't want to dwell too much on that, because it's distracting the other ridiculous expenditures.
Yeah.
Over and above that, there's some who did the math? Was it Peter Dera? He did the math.
I think I saw one of his posts today.
It was so funny. At 1 billion shillings, he was doing like math. So it's like, if you spend 100,000 for every day for 30 years, is how you get to 1 billion. Think about it. 100,000 times 365. 365,000.
No, 100,000 for 365. What's that? Like 3.65 million.
Siju count.
Yeah. It's something like that. Yeah.
Please insert here on the screen.
Oh, then, wow.
You can only use that for about 30 years to get to 1 billion.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We don't know how to count.
We'll do the math real quick.
Let's do it
real quick.
Tusijaibishe sana.
Yeah.
Boss, do you know I once got 8 out of 100 in math? My teacher cried. Mrs. Ruigi, I'm sorry. She cried.
Kerry Kagiri, I don't even know I'm laughing.
Imagine.
But that's just sad.
You're the music director. 8 out of 100.
If you used 100,000 shillings a day, in a year, that's 36,500,000.
36 million.
500,000.
Oh yeah, so you add the zeros at the back.
Yeah.
So how much, divide that to see how much it gets to a billion?
36,500,000. So if you were to get to a billion,
how many years?
Wait, let me see how it's going to work. And guys, you're doing some simple math over here, but clearly it's really not that simple. 2
plus 2 is 4 minus 4. Quick math.
27 years.
27 years, yeah. That's so he was right.
100K.
He was right. Thereabouts. So the things that are almost getting to a billion in that budget for expenditure for a year.
Yeah.
How much are you spending in a day?
I think we're in a space where...
I just Saturday, Sunday, see working day.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like... my heart is stopping, Moz. Like, I'm so heartbroken because I'm like, even right now, basic things. Nilikuwa nimeshop juzi. Nilikuwa na 2,000.
You can't get much. You can't get much na 2,000 saizi. You can't.
Hakuna. Sasa hata namnataka tuolewe. Watu watatupelekaje date, mtu wangu? Msiana kazamzi.
Mtapelekwa date mkidishi sembe hapo hivyo mazee kwa nini?
Yani what but them
date moto takuwa ni sembe moto. But let me I think we're in a space where there are other ways that the government can be able to generate revenues. I think first and foremost, the first thing they need to do is stop graft.
Number one. But Moz, are you saying right now we're not generating revenue?
We are.
One of the MPs asked a very silly question. Mnatakaje mabarabara na hizi vitu zote tutengeneze bila kutaksiwa? Hatujakataa kutaksiwa.
But you want to see where your taxes are going.
Yes, na tumekataa kuovertaxiwa na kuongeza any other tax over and above. Maze naangalianga payslip mtu wangu. Pay. Hi. Say we should be having those cards that are flying in this country.
There's a time when, back in the day when Kibaki was the president, he said, or a report came out that said that Kenya loses 30% of its GDP to, is it GDP or revenues collected to corruption? 30%. So at that time, if the economy, let's assume that the budget for the government was a trillion shillings, it means 300 billion is going to get lost to corruption. They just built the Thika superhighway for 30 billion shillings. Ni kumaanisha wangetengeneza yani 10 Thika superhighways with just that graft. In a space where there are no new schools that are being built.
Classrooms. Watu hawana classroom.
Yani Kangemi Primary. Mahali Buddha alikuwa nafunza mazee back in the 70s na 80s. Ile place haija change.
I think the thing we also need to talk about is the heart aspect.
Yeah. But
watu wataka kutax pension.
Wow.
Pension. Moz. Utaka kutax the money we are sending to our family. You know, when you think about it, if they want to increase the mobile money by, it was 60%.
Yeah.
Natumia hiyo pesa tushosho yangu, juu already mshamuibia pension. Bado mnataka kutax hiyo pesa.
Yeah.
Then atumie kulipa huyo msee yu clean hapo nje, ndio pia yeye apate kitu. Like this money just trickles down. So the more you nyonga it, like now, this week, I'm sorry, but I'm telling my helper sikuje Friday. Because I pay 1,100 a day. Akikam.
Yeah.
It's neodo. Ataka home. Sina. Like honestly, I just don't have. So atakam next week, uko end month at least. Atakujanga sasa twice a week. Pia ya me lose job. Tadu nini?
Yeah.
It's either I eat or I pay her. Na akikuja home, najua lazima akule. Lazima tumie tissue. Baka tissue unasema msee box 3 msee. Box 3 for peeing, box 6 for pooping. Tuna budget msee. Arabian shower nazo zinstoli. Hakuna maji. My friend.
Yeah.
Things are bad. I was like, Daddy, can I come home? Sasa.
You almost want to get there.
Tusaidiane.
Yeah.
Because niko na kitu inakamini, uko na kitu.
Tuko pamoja kwa ni easier. How do you feel when you see your fellow young people going in the streets, and I know you're going to join them, are you?
That's what's up. That's what's up. We're going to address issues. We're going to come together. That's what's up. Me, I'm a million %.
Does it motivate you? Does it inspire
Me, I was
you?
going anyway because this is my country.
Yeah.
By the way, mi nimekuwa majuu. Nimetravel, nimepata opportunity mpaka.
Yeah.
Neza fanya job, neza relocate. But hakuna place kama home. Place najua chuo zote mpaka leo nimediscover chuo mpoa ya coffee mtu wangu. Hey.
Why not?
Home. Home. This is my home.
Yeah.
I'll say it's nothing personal towards anyone.
Yeah.
Because I know one day I'm going to, lead this country in one way or another. I don't know where God is going to place me.
Yeah.
But I know I'm going to be a leader for this nation because I love the nation.
Yeah.
So it's not about castigating the leaders. It's about saying, wewe hapo umeenda sana. No. And it's not edit the finance bill. It's delete all of it. Because there's so many things that are cropping up out of it. So, me, I just say that's what's up. And I want to remind the baby boomers and Generation Y. I want to remind you something. We are the generation that doesn't forget.
Yeah.
We remember everything you said because we took it in. Moz, me, I'm glad how I voted. Sitadanganya. Na nilivote. Niseme vile nilivote. But nimejua mbona Mungu aliniambia nivote vile nilivote. But the fact that I voted, whether for or against the current government, I'm going to have a say. It's going to be small. It's going to be ridiculous. It's going to be for those 31,000 people who follow me and those who engage with me.
Yeah.
Maybe 15,000 of them are the ones who engage.
Yeah.
But I'm going to do something. I'm not going to be quiet. I have a voice.
Yeah.
I'm going to show up. I'm going to encourage people. I'm going to keep talking about it. Nimesikia ati kuna mtu anasema ati we are being misled about the taxes. We're not being misled. We can read and write. Umesikia au wanaitangwa mabadi? We're baddies. Like we speak clean, nice English. Na wase wako hapo, ana wase wa ghetto, tuko hapo pamoja. Jusi wote, tuko in the same boat.
Yeah.
So I'll say anyone who is staying home, and one more thing I need to address, sorry, because I think we're wrapping this part up. The Church of Jesus Christ is represented, Moz. Moz, when you go there, the number of souls that God has allowed you to just witness to and experience. You're the Church of Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I'm the Church of Jesus Christ. I don't expect my bishop
to go on the street.
aende kwa street. It would be nice.
It would be nice for him to be there.
It would be nice.
Or for her.
But I have no expectation like that.
Why is that?
I am the Church of Jesus Christ. Niko na nguvu, niko na stamina.
Yeah.
Si kwa ubaya. But most of these guys wazazi wetu, watu wenye wako 60 and above,
Yeah.
Ana 50 and above. Washa make do yao.
Yeah.
Wako sawa. Wako na investment, wako na keja. Most of those guys, they live in their own home.
Yeah.
Mimi, ndio na try to put 2 and 2 together kufikiria how will I own a house in this city I grew up in. Ata one bedroom, ata ka 1B.
Do you see yourself owning a house the way things are?
Mimi natazamia binguni. I'm working for my heavenly home. Hata juzi niliombea watu niko nimeongezewa swimming pool na aquarium in heaven. Moz.
Yeah.
Natamani binguni.
Yeah.
By the way, natamani binguni because by the time I tried sijui kuuliza mortgage ati nifanywe sijui hesabu ya mortgage.
Yeah.
Because watu wali-own mahao wali-do. Baka nikaenda nikauza shosho yangu. Sasa wewe uko na nyumba hapa Lang'ata. Kuliendanga aje? No, as we were teachers, hizi ma civil servants sijui wakatoka. Then walikuwa wanalipa kidogo kidogo kwa mwezi. At some point they had to be pardoned because they are saying this is your income. Umelipa for the last 20 years faithfully.
Wow.
So nikiwa 87 unasema ndio enjoy ati sasa nime own nyumba hivi siwezi.
Hata wezi enjoy how?
Hawezi?
Yeah.
Alafu pia nikianza kufanya hizo majob when you're working too hard, you're out here every day hustling. House help ndo na enjoy nyumba yangu.
Yeah.
Unaona?
You know, there's I don't even know if I want to go down this path.
Go.
Because I have other questions I want to ask you as well. So, you know, they have picked up a new trend that's happening also abroad, not just in Kenya.
Yeah.
Where young people now, like the Gen Z, the millennials, guys don't want to own homes because they can't afford it.
It's true. You know, I think it's Vusi, that guy who speaks a lot about finances and everything. He talked about get a place that's affordable and within your space.
Yeah.
That you can pay for just as another bill. Would I get?
Yeah.
So it's just another expense. Like it's not rent.
Yeah.
And that's what I've done as well, by the way. Mimi nimerudi huko mtaani. Nilikuwa naishi kile by the keja supu. Was a rich. Swimming pool, generator. Ati hawana stima. Hakuna stima wapi?
Saa hizi.
Ilikuwa inazimika hivi unasikia stima inarudi.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, we don't have public. Come walk at my house. You know?
Yeah.
Na wezi ingia bila nini, I need to buzz you up, my friend. Nikasema, that's nice. That's nice. But it's not sustainable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So say I can pay, my M-Shwari can pay my rent. Yeah. So owning a house is great. I understand the value of it. I want my children to have a compound pale waweza kimbia. Wafanye sijui nini. But place tuko sahi ni unatafuta keja yenye ausikii your pinch. Unaweza chukua M-Shwari na ulipe rent. Na uendele na life.
Yeah.
So it's okay. It's something that we've learned and we've been taught.
Yeah.
Ku-own how ni kitu poa sana. But my question is, at what cost?
Yeah.
Ni corruption, ni kukua propagandarist, ni all these things people are doing. Alafu the worst part ni hao watu wote wenye tunaonanga huko nje tunafikiria wame make it. Hawaja make it. Mimi nimeenda mahao zao. Mimi nakushow. Hawako poa.
Wow. I mean, I shouldn't even laugh because like the creative economy should be able to support them. Anyway.
You put a 47 bob content aggregate. Hey, kakonga poa. Wasenye meka skiza tune in your house.
Sinikumbuke tu kwa ufalme wako tafadhali.
47 bob every month. Ping ping. What you put a 52 bob say?
Uliona uko mbele.
52. Inalipa tu your fuliza has been paid partially.
Let me ask you, Kerry, because like history economy inaendelea kuongelelea for a long time, but let's dig a little bit into you, bana.
Let's do it.
Yeah. How did you end up being this amazing FEMC?
Nesa sema first of all ni God mse. Ni God mtu wangu. God akinibeka mse alikuwa na hii plan. So big up Saja Rastafari. Anyway, to God, my father, my heavenly father. Thank you so much. I can't take any credit to myself because I'm like, sasa ukiniumba ulifikiria hizi vitu zote create my mind.
Yeah.
Ukanipatia just the right amount of ADD and ADHD to survive and to be interesting. But I'd say the first time I stood on a stage was in my high school. It was a CU rally. I just decided to give my life to Christ. I knew about Christ. Like me nilikuwa mse wa church by the like before. Tony and Margaret raised me in the house of the Lord. Like ukisema Bible verse na kumalizia mtu wangu. Like I've just always been saved.
Yeah.
I was baptized in immersion at 10 years by Dennis White.
Hey.
The
Dennis White.
Kwa tunakutaka hapo anasema sita mjui. In a slab. So I feel like when I connected with Jesus, there's something new that came out of me.
Yeah.
I was still creative. I was in drama. I was in music. I was in St. John's. I was in every club in my school. I even once, and I say this, and guys think it's a joke, I went for a Muslim rally.
Ah?
Yes. Like, I was just like so... Like, I was exploring everything.
How?
I was in junior achievement. See, I said I was curious about Islam.
Yeah.
Invite me, maybe I might become a Muslim.
But you just wanted to skip school.
Yes. Yes.
Even the kids are cheering for you.
Thanks, guys. Yay!
Yeah.
So when I connected with Christ, and I'm not saying this so that someone can connect with Christ. I mean, I'm saying my story.
Yeah.
Something just burst out of me, and it stayed there. In fact, last year, for the first time, I met a lady who called me after emceeing an event at Mavuno Lavington. She called me outside and she was like, Kerry, do you know that thing that makes you how you are? It's a Holy Spirit. He's just bursting out of you. Like, you just have that zeal and energy. It's not coming from you. It's the Holy... And I was like, that's what it is?
Yeah.
Because they're like, Kerry, woka sirika. It's the Holy Spirit of God. So when I was baptized by the Holy Spirit, and it came with evidence of speaking in tongues, so right before... Funny story. So right before I did that thing for Inua Mkono Kuja Mbele,
Yeah.
I had gone for a mission trip with Sitam Karen.
Mm-hmm.
Our pastor then was now Reverend Steve. And he allowed me to pray for a drunk man to give his life to Christ. And so I started praying for him. After leading to the sinner's prayer, now I'm praying for him. I burst out in tongues.
Wow.
In a place called Nyaribarichache, Kisii County, Buyamono, Gaki. Yeah. So in that place, I remember being filled by the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
And, I'm going back to school. And I'm still, that time I remember we were living in South Sea. And, once or twice nearly smoke some weed.
Haijai kwa system by the way.
Bangi ni mbaya mtu wangu. Bangi ni mbaya. But, so coming to giving my life to Christ now, and I got an opportunity. Okay, so there used to be CU committee. Do you know how guarded CU committees are? Like, you don't do anything if you're not in the committee.
Yeah.
But they're like, this chick, let's give her a chance. And I'm sure it's Amy Simoto who forced them to do that. And so they gave me a chance, and maybe Annette. But they gave me a chance to stand up on stage and MC an event.
Yeah.
I remember that day because Alemba was coming to perform.
Hey.
And then I still had a dance crew called Anonymous. Man, we killed it. We nearly MC too. Like, I just started talking like, yeah, I can do this thing. So I didn't know. And over the years, it's like, that's my thing. Of course, with this economy, my events, ataki kulipa by MC, but it was, that's where it was born.
Yeah.
And now in uni, there's like an event, they're like, Kerry, you're going to be the MC. So I'm like, yeah, I'm an MC. Like, it's never like hit me.
Yeah.
Like, it's a thing. It's like, I remember because a you guy, wow, most Umeneka stages are 10,000 people, 6,000 people. I remember the first time you gave me TSO in KICC, I was like, what is this? Like, but sisi kuambia sijiamini. So mi napanda hapo juu wazee. That's what I said, aje, hataki kunisalimia, like, wow. Who was that though? Maybe you should tell me, how did I become a FEMC?
You're naturally gifted. Like you're bubbly.
But it's JJ Amini. To date, ata juzi, I was hosting Women of Excellence Awards. Na hii roho yote ya mbele imeanza hapa na
Chief of the Governor.
Excellencies. Wako hivi wamejipanga hivi. Na Isula Lesuda. Next to her is Honorable Beatrice Elach. Next to her is PS Wawapi. Honorable Governor Nani.
Yeah.
They call like Mimi. So may just go, I kill it, man. One thing that I learned.
Why not you?
Why not me? Exactly. But one thing I learned that was very interesting is, and it keeps me going. If I have the mic, then it means I have something to say.
Yeah.
So that's what. But if you see me within the first 5 minutes of hosting,
you're shaking.
Yeah. Always. Every single time, just zoom in that mic. The first 5, I'm always like, it's like nerves. It's like there are people in my stomach.
Yeah.
And I tell people, like, Kerry, you're so confident. I'm like, I'm not. And then I normally make this one crazy prayer at the back. Before I do, after we've prayed with people, I still go and do mine. I say, Lord, help me. Just help me. If you don't help me, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And I go over there and I kill it, man.
That's a good position to be at.
Yeah.
We're in a place where you're asking God to help you.
So that's how it started. I just started with, I really cannot exclude it out of connecting with Christ.
Yeah.
I cannot. And I started on a CU stage.
So when we met you in high school.
Wow. That was dope.
Were you a believer then?
Yes. So what had happened is, this girl had just introduced me to the faith.
Yeah.
She called me for the CU rally. I felt that the girl was speaking to me. I put my hand up. By the time I'm leaving, I was like, Kerry has given a life. Kagiri. That time it was another name.
Yeah.
The other name.
So we won't use it.
You can use it, but
no, it's okay. Okay, sawa basi.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Ruth.
Yes. So Ruth has given her life to Christ. Ruth Kagiri has given her life to Christ.
Wow.
And then we went to the music room to do preps. And we were on a Saturday and we were listening to Kubamba on Hope FM. And you guys were like, I can't remember who announced it, but it was you, it was Akina the late Kaberere,
Yeah.
the whole crew, Crowbars,
Supposed to be
Celeb,
there is Uncle.
Uncle,
Yeah.
man. And you guys were saying you need a guest host.
Yeah.
So there was that opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, those guys are talking about me.
Wow.
It's me they want.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did is, I found out where you guys are going to be.
Mm-hmm.
So that was Sparfest.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why it was Njugush. Like, I knew I need to see Njugush.
Yeah.
And so I met him and he was just, hi. So when I met him, I told him, hi, you were asking about a guest house. It's me. I don't think he knew I was in high school at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, Sawa, come tonight. I'm like, what? Like, no way. So I had to find a way to call my mom on my Siemens.
Yeah.
I tell her,
Yeah.
Nipeleke. No, I didn't have a Siemens. Oh, I had a Samsung flip phone. I had a blue flip phone.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom brought me. My mom actually slept in the car that night.
Yeah. Because the show was still midnight.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember the first thing Jugush did. This guy. Jugush took my phone and deleted all the secular music. And he put 2 songs.
Which ones?
Pulilika,
By Mark 44.
And he put Mwili wangu baba ni hekalu lako,
Hey.
nisamehe shusha tena upendo wako.
Yes.
Majaribu mengi nitazama mimi kama kufanya mapenzi wakati siyo stahili. Yeah, that song, yeah. So he put those 2 songs.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know how he did it, but like, hiyo time I don't think kulikuwa na Bluetooth, ama ilikuwa Bluetooth, ama infrared. I don't know.
Infrared, maybe.
But yeah. And actually, I think it was a Nokia flip phone, but it was a blue phone. It was stolen in a bank after a while. Anyway, so that's how it started. And that day I was on radio. I remember Moz dissed me. Aki Moz dissed me, guys, on my first show. Fast. Do you know what Moz did? Hey. So,
we're not waiting for this one.
You were playing some kanji song that I'm singing out loud. Then you went on layer. You're like, Kerry, nani alimba hiyo song? I'm like, oh, it's kanji mbogo. What did he? It's like, mwache aimbe. But you did that. You did that. You're the worst. But you're so kind anyway, as a person. But on air, I was ulichova. I remember I turned red, but the fact that it was so funny, I didn't care. So I was like, it's okay. But it was just like a child. And from then on, I guess...
we had you over every time you were on holidays.
Every time I was on holiday. And then the best part came when we got Power Radio.
Yes.
So I was in camp. I not started campus. I just finished Form 4.
Yeah.
So I think I interned with you guys 9. By the time kuniai nilipa.
Kwa intern.
Mtu wangu hata mlichekiwa cheki kile kubwa ungenirushia tu kitu ile tulikuwa na wewe system. Yeah. But 9 months nika intern. My dad used to give me 2 sock, by the way.
Oh wow.
But I know you guys
Big
share
ups.
with me food and stuff like that. But so mbili sana nikubai chip hop nje. Ama nitembee mtu wangu.
Those days for Power Radio was so hard.
Power Radio was hard. But it rocked.
It rocked.
I think the hardest part was when they switched it off. Was it to Uptown?
That was
Remember
hard.
that night?
I remember there's a lady who called crying, and this live on radio asking, what are my kids going to listen to? We finally have a station where we do not need to be afraid of what the presenter is going to say or the music they're going to play. This is our safe space. That was hard. I remember we were all in the room. Thanks for allowing me by the way to experience that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got to experience. There was not when he interned. It was one. But you were not really our intern though, Kagiri. At that point,
I was family.
You were
I remember,
our,
do you know
our baby.
Who used to drop us? And Imburu used to be a driver. And Imburu are going to pick midnight after Friday.
You know, we should have, Kate, we should have Andy on the podcast.
We should have a reunion.
Yes, we should.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so Andy was the driver. Na ile van ya grey. Kadogo.
Oh, man. We didn't have, the resources were so stretched.
But guys, was so cool. I remember that's a place I got to meet many of these brands that are now out there. Mwalimu Rachel came in aside doing sports with James Kama.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
John Rabao was one of the coolest guys ever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I used to chungulia. So I used to sit on the wall that chungulias him. And that's when my name Kerry came up. Kerry came up at
Power Radio.
Power Radio.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even know that.
So,
how?
Corinne and Taylor Murade.
For me, when you
Corinne
asked me some of the
Onyango.
top radio presenters,
Right.
Corinne.
Corinne.
Don't be threatened.
No, Corinne is ranking.
Hey, Corinne was like,
Yeah.
Kwanzaa, she comes in with her American hip hop.
Where?
You know, when she talks about that music, she's not faking it.
That space was on fire. So
Hey.
Corinne and Taylor, they couldn't say Kagiri. So like, can we call you Kerry? Like, it was like, literally, Corinne and Taylor were rather named me. And Kerry has stuck from then on.
Oh,
so
man.
immediately, I just went and changed my Facebook
To Kerry Kagiri.
to Kerry Olesempekis.
Yes, that's it. That's
Kagiri,
it.
yeah.
That's it. That's
Yeah.
it. And now, I mean, it's amazing having watched your journey and, you know,
Right.
seeing you from being a high school student
Imagine.
and watching you grow, go through campus,
Right.
which you really, kani ingekuwa, kazi nilikuwa nimenyoa dread size, nilikuwa in fact,
ulikuwa na
maybe
dread.
ulisaidia dread zangu kutoka haraka
Kwa-
haraka.
nilikustress.
Ulinistress.
But Moz, you're too polite. Like, we advice zako zilikuwa like, tukikaa chini, sikiwa try to find a way. So unatuma.
Because I don't want to be harsh on you.
What do you mean?
Because if I am harsh on you,
I only came to for radio drunk once.
see,
Only once.
I was like,
Only once.
why is this young girl wasting her life? Kerry, why
Don't
can't you
wanna
have?
waste
Why
my
can, yes, why can't
life,
you? In
life.
fact, that song was written for you,
Don't
Bana.
wanna waste my life.
Why can't you see
I
how
didn't
gifted
know.
you are?
I didn't know.
And then it's like you're on the right path, but you're allowing yourself to be caught up by all these
But
other
then
things
let me
that are
tell you, if there's a space that has been so accepting and loving and has allowed me to love God and be the same way to others.
Mhm.
So my neighbors where I moved to now, they just learned that that I'm saved. So my neighbor said to me, unaonanga hizo chupa zote za whiskey kwa dustbin na uongeangi. Black basi kunywa whiskey yako. Pole pole
Wow.
tu. Enjoy your whiskey.
Yeah.
When the day the Lord convicts your heart, I told her, I'll never judge you.
Wow.
I'll never judge you because I know.
Yeah.
I know. Sometimes, most me, I'll tell you, I learned just not even a long time ago, maybe last year.
Mhm.
Then most of the times when I was doing like rebellious stuff,
Mhm.
drinking, partying, yani nenda. There was a time I went to a bar and people are recognizing me. When you Kerry Kagiri, I'm like, Sasa. I'm like, what's that? What Kerry? I'm like, no.
Wanakurushia ama
No,
do you walk
they're
out?
like shocked.
I know,
like,
yeah,
what am
because
I
they don't
doing
expect to see
here?
you here.
And I'm like, you guys know me. Like, you know, like you. I don't think I've ever understood
Mhm.
that by the fact that I'm a minister, people affiliated, they look for hope from this side.
Yeah.
I don't think it going to hit vizuri.
Saizo huko kwa your headspace.
And also, I was also in so much pain myself.
What is going on?
Many things. Of course, you can think about like home. There are things that broke in my family that even as an adult you can't recover.
Mm.
And you try to say, you know, it's only vitu za adults, mini mtoto,
Mhm.
but it still hurts you. There are things
Yeah.
that there were seasons that were difficult as a family. The seasons that were difficult relationally. I'm trying to figure out this whole dating thing. I remember that time like 4 guys in the industry were hitting on me at the same time.
Wow.
And I'm like,
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
No, because I don't know.
Mhm.
Okay, let me say where the problem started. Let me
Yeah.
start it. So growing up, you know, you're watching Sunset Beach, you're watching Passions, you're watching, you know,
Days of Our Lives.
Days of Our Lives and all these shows. You're watching STV. No one looks like you.
Yeah.
So I'm not beautiful. None of those girls who are main characters look like me, Moz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all
So
Latino.
by the time somebody is telling you, oh my God, I love you, you're like, me. You're even looking behind, like, me.
Wow.
So it's such a struggle.
Mhm.
And I wonder how other people navigate it. I remember the one day I drank when I was, you know, doing Christian radio. Back then, because there are many other times. There's a guy who DM'd me on Instagram and he was like, oh, I want to meet up, nini. And he was not so far from the studio.
Yeah.
He was in South B.
Yeah.
But he was hanging out with some secular artists that I recognized when I got there.
Yeah.
And so when I got there, they're like, hey, what's up? Everyone's giving me attention. How are you? Nini, nini. Then the guy just was like a reshot. Was it that thing tastes bad? Hakuna kitu baidhi, hakuna pombe was. Like, sorry, am I choming for them? Like, what the hell?
Your experience with it, yeah.
But you have to be cool. So, you sip, you know. Mazi sijui nilikuwa na njama nini. Hiyo kitu ilinge tu straight hivi kwa akili. Ping! Then I say getting paranoid. Because I'm like, by the way, I'm the only chick here. One of the guys from a group, there's a boy band. I'll tell you off camera.
Yeah.
But now he's on started vibing me. But I'm like, see, but this is a guy who's invited me here for lunch.
Yeah.
Kumbe mimi ndio lunch labda.
Oh man.
Most let me tell you what I did. When this guy is vibing me, he said, come and show you around the house. Nini. I'm like, no, it's okay, don't see. Like, I'm okay. I've left work. How will you guys explain to Tony and Margaret? This girl was at work. I'm in a lunch break.
Yeah.
I can invite you a lunch at a house in South B. Akapewa pombe. It's so embarrassing.
Yeah.
And you know the guys who don't give you an option, like, this is what we are drinking. You know? Me, what I did was, let me tell you. I think that guy, the times he's met me, he thinks I'm a psycho. Nilikatu hivi nikaanza kusonga, nikaka karibu na mlango. I just waited for the next person who opened that door. I ran from South B to the office.
Wow.
To Baricho Road. Running for my life. So when I got there, I'm so stressed. The first person, of course, I meet is Soxy. Like, drunk.
Wow.
Soxy calls Bob and Caro.
Yes.
And they're like, Jogush akikuona umeisha. Hata si Moz. I didn't even snitch. Sorry, guys. It's life. Wazee wakanificha kwa server room.
Wow.
Wakanipe maji, recover.
Yeah.
Ustoke nje. Because I'm drunk. Even that, you remember we used to have a code?
Yes. You couldn't even remember the code?
Nothing.
Wow.
Nikamwambia msemo, at the reception. It was bad. And then, of course, I said, Mr. Y, kunywa tena, Mr. Y. Mr. Y. Kunywa tena.
Until you got sober.
Like, God, if you save me today,
I'll never touch this thing again.
Touch it again. And my mom once asked me, ulitoa wapi hamu ya kukujua? Like, how did you even learn it?
Yeah.
Your dad has never, by the way, my dad, literally.
Yeah.
All our babas used to have mataska manini. Babangu anakunywa ginger ale. Kwa event. All functions. Tukiwa Naivasha, like it didn't matter.
Wow.
He stood.
Yeah.
All the moms are having wine. Some of them are actually having hard liquor, beers. Ashai. I was like, these guys are shady, maze. I don't know, shamba aje.
Wow.
But now I know. And I'm so grateful to them, man. My parents have stood in terms of temptation and nini.
Yeah. So you're here, you're going through all this
maze
chaos. You have these 4 jamas now who are katiaing you.
Imagine.
You're wondering,
what am I supposed to do? Like, so do you say hi? Do you ignore all of them?
Kwani uko umekatiwa before?
Nilikuwa nimekatiwa, but say nimegrow, niko outside of home. See, mambo ya high school. Nani mambo ya high school? After my biggest breakup in high school, sio nilisha kushow. Was your breakup in high school?
Tell us
Nichome what is chome?
Choma.
Because ni star.
Just go ahead, choma too.
I was dating this guy.
We'll give him an opportunity for Nini.
for but whatever happened to we were still friends. That had to chat. Hata jana tulichat actually. Kama nani make you too. So the guy used to be called Sketch. So automatically I'm Sketches.
Yeah.
So nikaleta akaniambia, you're no longer Sketch S. You're Sketch X aka Sketchless.
You were dumped on a letter. That ain't right. You want some more coffee? That ain't right.
Chief Baze. Niko na machozi mtu wangu.
Man.
So after that I was like, hakuna kitu kama mapenzi. Kitu ni fake. Sasa nimalize shule. Labda uko mbele. I'm sorry if I dated you after form 2 and you thought it was real love. Sorry. And my dad, I remember there was also my dad. Okay. They told you I was really bad. My dad saw some chats I had with some guy.
Yeah.
And he he wrote to let my daughter finish school, then you come and talk to her.
Oh,
So I had this idea for my dad wants me to finish school fast.
yeah.
Yeah. And that's how I knew.
So you're not going to tell us who
He didn't
Sketch
tell me
is?
directly. Sketch yuko was kila mtu anajua Sketch.
Okay.
Sketch ni msem bad. He's a songwriter, manager, brand like he does 1 million things. What was Sketch? At least Sketch ni mtu anajulikana.
Unamjua?
Anani anamjua?
Ati?
Anamjua mamji?
Unajua ule ni Gen Z, so
Anamjua mamji?
amjui. Usitie shaka.
Gen Z, you don't need to know us. Us, we know ourselves.
So now, how did you deal with the challenges now that you're facing when you were in college? Because clearly you have this thing on identity.
Yeah.
You're struggling with, you're going through this dark phase of whatever is
Right.
happening at home.
Right.
You're battling with alcohol.
Right.
You're making all these bad decisions that are driving me up the wall.
Right.
And
Maybe kama kuna msem forgiving, except Jesus, ni Moz.
as in, you,
Like, how did you guys deal with me? Like, me, I'm wondering. Because
you were,
like, kwanza uni.
when you went to
I used to
KU,
ban. Hey, KU
when you
me, I
went to
ban.
KU,
I chomad.
I was like, what the heck is happening
Who is this person?
with Kagiri?
Yeah. But then I don't remember most of my uni. I was drunk in uni. Skumbuki.
How did you get there?
I know the worst part about it, see at its due to peer pressure. I feel like even it's me was like, wase tuende tufanye hivi. Like, luwa natafuta form mi mwenyewe.
When do you unatafuta wase?
I'm not to be led by them. Mi nakwanga front row.
Ule wa kuchocha wase.
Yeah. So,
that's the power and influence that you have.
that's unfortunate, man. Now try to do it for Jesus. But I don't know if it was a freedom, but I'll just say I didn't understand that as a young person, I have so much power.
Yeah.
And I have such a huge calling over my life. So my second yes to Jesus happened during campus. There was a guy, he kept inviting me to his church. I'm like, maze, umsi anajua mimi ni mtoi wa nani? Anajua mimi najua mambo za Jesus. Like, does he know Kerry Kagiri? Like, mimi nifanya ministry. You know,
Yeah.
like
I can preach to you.
Unatambua?
Yeah.
This guy, like, I need to shout him out, eh? It's called Pastor Alex. He leads the KG Mirema. In Mirema. Pastor Alex always used to invite me to his church. That time he was going to New Beginnings at Garden Estate.
Yeah.
And I was also living there. So I used to commute to uni at that point, before now going to stay in uni. And funny story is, this day, man, I'd messed up now. I'd messed up for real. I even had a tongue ring. I don't know if you did you see my tongue ring face?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
gosh. Okay. And it pierced my tongue.
I mean, I didn't have an issue with the tongue ring.
Oh yeah?
No.
Okay. There's a lady who called me on the side, told me, do you know what this thing means?
It has a meaning?
Yes. Piercings had a meaning. Like, if you know the origin. Okay, I didn't do it because I was trying to be a slave to whichever goddess. But you have to trace, like, you have to use some knowledge when you're doing some things.
It's just like,
Yeah. So for me, it was like a decorative thing. It was a rebellious thing.
for me, I would look at it as just a decorative
Yeah.
thing.
So my mom, because my mom found out I had a tag ring. Kai, Aki Margaret, I'm sorry. I said, I'm so sorry. Aki. Anyway, so this day I had messed up so badly. Like, I had the worst hangover. And I woke up that day and I knew I had to go to church. So my mom always calls me on Sunday morning. On her way to church or something. To date, Nico 33.
And she's still calling you.
Yes. And I feel like that's really kept me accountable. She's never left anyone else to parent me or to teach me anything. And my mom, Kitapo, by the funny, I've just remembered, sorry, I'm digressing, but I'll remember where I was. So what has Jugush said about that? What has Moz said about that? That was another thing, because like, deputy parents need Moz than Jugush. That I always laugh about that. But I I had this urge to go to church.
Mm-hmm.
But when I looked at my wardrobe, this is when I knew for real nimepotea. I had nothing church-like to wear. And in Kenya, you have to kind of dress up. Especially back then,
Mm-hmm.
you have to dress up to go to church.
Mm-hmm.
Like, kunatuka effort to weka. Like, we don't do the whole... But now Gen Z are doing it.
Yeah.
Sweatpants and Crocs. But me growing up, and my principle is decency. Decency never changes. You can
Yeah.
change the style, but decency doesn't change.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't have anything. So I wore a white, like, crop top. Is it like a cut up to anza hapa, kanaisha hapa.
Mm-hmm.
Then I wore a skirt, ni refu, yes, but ni see-through.
Mm-hmm.
But hadi hapa iko na lining.
Mm-hmm.
And then nikavaa, nilikuwa naka half jacket, denim,
Mm-hmm.
nikavaa juu. Kwa hiyo wardrobe yote, that's all that was decent. Because sasa siwezi vaa trouser.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to that New Beginnings Church. Hapo KG Mirema. Pali, hata sijui kuna quiver hapo nje or something now. So, checked into the church, shades. I told God, by the way, God, today you have to talk to me. Me.
Mm-hmm.
You have to talk to me direct.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm lost and my spirit is lost.
Mm-hmm.
And I went, and the person speaking, it was Mzungu, it's called Bernie.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. I think that's his name. And he spoke and spoke and spoke. And like, there was no one else in that room, by the way. Everyone was there, disappeared. It was just me, him, and Jesus. And we're having conversations.
And you're high. Or you have your hangover at that time.
Yes. Hangid. Proper. I'm sure even my breath was stinking. And then when he made the altar call, I went. And when I went,
Mm-hmm.
I was so weak on my knees, I knelt down. And the guy started speaking over me and my ministry. He said, young lady, I can see clearly the call of God that's upon you.
Mm-hmm.
The call for women in your life, the call to draw people, the influence that God has put upon you. And I'm like, what the hell? Who told you? Mark you, I never told Pastor Reverend Alex I'm going
Mm-hmm.
that day.
Mm-hmm.
I never told anyone. Like me, I was just nilitoka tu kwa hiyo hao, mi nikaenda church.
Yeah.
Na nikafind hiyo church pali iko.
Mm-hmm.
And so, by the way, that was one of the most powerful spaces I was ever in. And those guys accepted me. Akina Jensen. I remember even Nani says its brother used to play there. Cool guys. See me you.
Mm-hmm.
Really cool. A really good group of people.
Yeah.
And they fully accepted me. They fully... The pastors are excellent.
Yeah.
For that space, a community church. Very
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
In Tome. And I remember being like, what? And yeah, now you've done your part. Now I have to try and do my part. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I tried. I honestly tried. I got back. I remember that's the time now, Gach and Celeb, they were starting a radio show on KU FM,
Yeah.
98.9. It was called The Switch.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, come and host it. And I was like, do you guys know, like, Miss Yule Kerry, wa Power Radio?
Mm-hmm.
Like, me lost. You know,
Wow.
at the same time, you're also setting up at Hot 96.
Yeah.
Inuka. And
Yes.
you're giving me segments. Like, guys, if there's someone who has loved me, basi kuja na kushukuru vizuri. Na kuandikia kitu. They're like, Kerry, you're gonna host this. I remember at some point now, but pia shetani unitafuta. Like, Moz anakutafuta, shetani akutafuta. Moz anakutafuta, shetani akutafuta. The time I was told to sit in for the Saturday show. By
On Hot
Chris.
96.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was old school and sports.
Mm-hmm.
I remember there's an afternoon
Chris
segment
Okinda.
Chris Okinda used to do.
Yeah.
Chris Okinda is, by the way, Corinne. And no, Chris Okinda, Corinne. That's my ranking.
Chris is good.
Chris is such a good host.
Yeah.
And Cindy Ogana kwa mahali huko.
Yeah.
So Chris, Chris was like, Kerry, what's up? Can you sit in for me? My mom is sick. Nini. I was like, yeah, it's like I was like the intern for Hot 96. Yeah, I was like, for any show. I have no idea on old school. I have no idea on sports.
Yeah.
So I just go to the newsroom and I'm like, yo, Wahiga, my guy. It's idea.
Give me sports.
Bernard, come to tuonge juu ya kitu.
Yeah.
Michael Kinyi, come tuonge juu. Like, just come into the studio when you have a minute. You build your content.
That was good though. That was brilliant because now you have 3 amazing sports person.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was really good. And of course, it was John Kiana.
Yes.
Sports.
Yes.
So anyway, that was more experience. But I felt like you know, like now I'm playing secular music. You know, I ended up doing that job for like another 3 months. On Saturdays, like what's going on?
Who are you?
The conflict
Wow.
the conflict is so real.
Mhm.
But then I was like, you God protect me and help me, because
Yeah.
now what anda do nini anywhere mi najua
Yeah.
kuongea najua
Yeah.
hizi mafedas. I remember the first time I did the Sunday show. So I used to do the Sunday show
Mhm.
Sunday
Yes.
morning.
Mhm.
And I remember Steve Mutuku, now that time he was the driver.
Yeah.
To a government.
Oh, man.
And I remember Jason Mondi needed to be driven
Mhm.
to do the outro for the church service.
Yes.
And he was the only guy who was supposed to show me around the controls.
Yeah.
And so he walks in, and of course he chooses Joyce over me. That's what I felt by then. I'm here to say I was hurt. At least it's out there. Though. So he says, Aki Kerry pole. I need to drive Joyce. Na gari yenye iko hapo ni manual.
Yeah.
So I have to drive her to there. Like, but it's my first show that I'm sitting here alone. What can I do? Say, Kerry, uko sawa. Sawa, uko sawa. I believe in you.
What?
My first show Moz, nilianza peke yangu.
What? Things that happen behind the scenes that I have no idea.
Fire.
Baptism by fire.
But I killed it. Murdered it.
I'm so proud of you. As you're talking, I'm wondering how, as a creative,
Uh-huh.
how do you draw where's the line
Mhm.
in your work between secular and spiritual? Or is all things spiritual for you?
All things are spiritual. Everything starts in a spiritual place for me. But I've been in spaces where I've had to host and engage with people who are not necessarily lifting and saying glory to God.
Mhm.
I've had to do events that are not necessarily, demonstrating spirit field.
Mhm.
I've had to host award ceremonies. I've had to host, like Juicy, there was a hard one for me. But these people called me up and they're like, Kerry, you're the only person who can trust you with this. The wash event.
Mhm.
Mary Chebi called me and she's like, babe, mi nakuamini. I used to do Churchill red carpet. Did you know that season
No.
stage of my life?
Oh my gosh.
I've worked with Churchill on the tours especially. I did Meru, I did Two Rivers.
But you're ridiculously gifted.
Yeah, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. But you see, it's having conversation with people and loving them.
Yeah.
I feel like that's away from actually being the one playing the bandana. You know, like it's a conversation, it's a space.
Yeah.
So, but it's very hard, especially in this country. So, thank you, Jesus. I've had exposure in other countries
Yeah.
where we finish a service
Mhm.
and guys have a beer,
Mhm.
where we have beer and Bible
Mhm.
hangouts.
Mhm. B&B.
Yeah, beer bowl. They actually call it the beer bowl.
It's called a beer bowl.
It's beer bowl. Yeah, it's beer and Bible. Anyway, it would have been Bible beer.
Yeah.
Bubble beer. Bubble bear. Anyway, but it's such a huge conflict. But for me, I choose people over and above content.
Mhm.
I know for sure I wouldn't do like a secular show, and I always, but it's still hard for me even now. But I have a hard stand on the things that I promote.
Yeah.
So this is what it looks like.
Mhm.
It looks like putting a secular song on a reel.
Mhm.
People who follow me have seen that secular song, and so I have promoted it.
Yeah.
So that's where I draw the line.
Mhm.
I draw the line on because I can't say I will never interact with someone who is not born again.
Mhm.
My title right now in this season, and I know what God has called me for after all those years, I think I found out last year that I'm an evangelist.
Mhm.
And so if there are people, all of them on my phone are all believers, I'm doing nothing.
Yeah.
What am I doing?
Yeah.
So I interact with unbelievers. I interact with people who even reject the faith.
Mhm.
But I model the love of Christ. I model hope.
Yeah.
I model joy.
Mhm.
And when someone actually asks me, Kerry, yani unakuwa tu umefurahi, naambia wase, ni God.
Wow.
We kubali tu God. Sema tu, yes, I need you. Utajazwa na joy like righteousness, peace, and joy. Zinakujaga zote kwa kingdom ya God.
Yeah.
So that's what I experienced. And I also tell them, maze pia mimi struggle na sin. Na if you want to talk through it or you want me to be in your space, let's talk through it.
Yeah.
Because then again, now I can see the purpose of all that nonsense I did. Terrible decisions, and God saved me. I see it as, now I have compassion. Niko na mtu ana struggle na drinks, ana struggle na madem. The first thing I do is not jump on to condemn them.
Yeah.
I'm like, naelewa. Because kuna watu, they don't struggle with all that, but most they're so hateful in their hearts.
Yeah.
They're so mean. They're nasty. Like, it's just that we've glorified some sins.
Yeah.
And so, and I'm not saying there's no smaller hell for you gossipers and you little groups of people who oppress others. There's no group. There's no smaller hell for you. It's the same hell that's gonna burn me if I decide to continue living in sin. But the issue is not even the sin. It's a fact of being unrepentant.
Yeah.
And hiding.
Yeah.
Moses is no one who can come and tell you my story. My story is here. And I've said it myself. I passed through challenges and I decided to bury the pain in trying to drink. There's a time I knew I've been caught kabisa.
Yeah.
And I knew I'm dead. I was out, must have been 2013. And this guy was hitting on me. Maybe you've seen this story somewhere because I've shared it. He was talking to me in the club. And we're just having a few drinks, we go home. It was like 11 p.m. And then me, I'm not interested in him. Of course, I was looking like someone's husband. Like a baba, like mbona niongelesha. But anyway, I was not even there to meet someone. Like someone can actually just leave their house to do something else. Like,
Yeah.
like we're not always looking for men.
Yeah.
And then
It's a good one.
yeah, why not? Like you can just get bored, leave your house anyway. So this guy still kept on. So I asked him, didn't your mom ever teach you any manners? So he said, oh, my mom died. I'm like, I'm sorry, but when she was alive, I didn't even finish that statement. The guy took a white cup bottle and hit my head over here. Alinigonga, nikaanguka huku chini, nikabingirika, the whole place guys scattered. Nikabaki hapo tu na watu wenye wananijua.
What?
So nikijisikia niko like, okay, am I alive? So I wake up. I'm like, oh, I'm alive. Haya. I'm crying. Imagine Moz, Kerry Kagiri, angekufa kwa local tome. The enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy.
Yeah.
And I put myself in that position. But I'm not going to shame myself as a victim.
Yeah.
I was a victim of a predator.
Yeah.
Because that guy is a predator. I don't have to accept your trying to hit on me or pull me or talk to me. I don't have to talk to you. I don't. Like it was very hard. I think no one had never told him no in his life.
Did anything happen with this guy?
Everyone refused to say where he lives. Because that time, my mom was so I called my mom. I can't even call my dad because my dad kill him. Like my dad would hunt him down to date and find him and kill him. It's just my dad didn't have information. My mom said she was in Arusha or on her way from Arusha or something. At that time, she felt something in her stomach. And she was the first ring she picked. But I don't think it was 11 p.m. Now that I think about that story. I think it was later. Because it was something weird. Why was she up at that time? Because I remember we've had that conversation with her. And now we revisit these things with her nowadays. But she felt something was wrong. The first ring, I think she was looking at her phone or something, the first ring she picked. I told her, Mom, this has happened. She was in community policing that time around Kasarani area. So I had all the connections I could to get this guy. But everyone refused to give him up. So I just knew he lived in Kiambu. Right now, I can't remember his face or anything. But yeah, I mean, such things happen to women outside there. But I'm saying this to say the kind of things that and decisions that I've made by exposing myself to the enemy. Because the enemy he's just looking for a crack like this.
Yeah.
Bali tu atakupata in the wrong place. And he can use anyone.
Yeah.
To end your life. You know, and to destroy you completely. And I'm not afraid of him, by the way. I'm not afraid of the enemy. But I know to spend my time in his presence more than expose myself that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, yeah, anyway, mse, nilipigwa na chupa mse, chupa ya white cup. Hata
I'm like,
singekwambia.
how do I not know about this?
It's embarrassing, boss. You're my spiritual leader.
I mean,
So
I'm
never
really
go
sorry
for
that you had to go through something
It's
like that.
okay, but
What's
what the
even
hell?
crazy is that nothing happened to that guy.
That's the craziest part. And you know, by the it's easier to shame yourself. Because we're like, oh, look what I do nini huko.
Boss.
That's the first thing, look what I do
No,
nini.
but why should you not be there?
Yeah. So anyway, nowadays I fight a lot for such things. If you notice, I'm very like out loud about any form of abuse, any form of discomfort, and yeah. And the people most to date, I can't hug them.
Yeah.
Ni watu nimejota watu wa industry. Wanakuhug ni kama nakufanya hivi wa feel boobs zako kwa chest yao. Aki wanaume mko na tabia mbaya. Juzi the guy was ati ushaihagiwa na mtu wa uniform. Nikamwambia hapana.
I'm so sorry.
Of course, I thought it was like, at first, I didn't think of it as sexual.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, men are so sexual. I don't know nini shida yenu. Like to the sex.
And I miss you.
So nikagum say, aka pitch tent kwa uniform. Imagine your uniform, you're light blue. It was so disgusting. I was like, boss, did he, like, it wasn't even like an intimate hug. As you say, limbao. Like, what the hell? Like, I felt so defiled. But then I felt so defiled.
I'm so sorry, Kagiri.
Because I'm like, I never thought, like, I never...
It's how you painted the image, that's why I'm laughing. But anyway.
But I did sexualize
sorry.
it. I did sexualize the interaction.
But you have no control about what the other person is going to do.
Yes.
Or how
But
they're
what
going
the
to interpret
hell?
that.
Like, I was like, guy. Because I started feeling weird.
Yeah.
Eh?
I'm so sorry.
Eh, maze koza DM. Moz, bede uko nje tunakulanga life.
How do you manage? And I know we need to wrap up because lazima uende tao.
Tunataka utango. You don't have to manage it. There's nothing to manage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just leave.
Delete.
You just
Sasa kuna
leave.
watu ma hey, hi, he. Sasa he, hi.
So hii ni gani? HWE.
Hi. Ama ni hi. I thought hi ni HIGH.
You're silly. You're silly. But it's one of the things I'm super proud is about your life
Maze.
is you have, I don't know if I've ever told you this, but let me tell you. What I love about you, Kagiri, is that you, like when we have conversations, you don't, okay, probably you'll hide some things from me, but you've allowed me to see God in your life through your lowest moments, when you've plateaued, and in your high moments. That somehow, I think your love for Jesus is, hata sasa leo uko na yeye haimaanishi umpendi.
That's true. That's true.
You get, like, you've allowed me to be able to see and to experience God like through your journey of life. And I believe that you have so much to be able to pour into the lives of many young people. Because you've been there, you've done that, you've won the t-shirt. But you've been able to experience God through all spaces of your life.
His goodness and his mercy.
Yeah.
Most right now, I'm in a season where I'm seeking God so deeply because I know there are signs, miracles, and wonders waiting to happen.
Yeah.
But because of my laziness or my pity parties or all that, they haven't happened.
Yeah.
So I feel like I've entered a deeper place and it's just come through maturity. Kuna time tu uja grow.
Yeah.
Na naambianga tusiwe before 25.
Yep.
Akili jamaliza kuform.
Yep.
Anyway, that's another story. But there's something about growing up and understanding eternity. And you asked me about a house here in the world.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a good thing.
But even better.
But mi natazama binguni. I'm so desperate to glorify God that I have to show up. Even when I'm feeling low, when I'm feeling tired. I had a terrible breakup recently. Hey, Sasa hiyo ilinipata. I've never been caught. I don't think I was in love or anything, but I think I was committed.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a time I was lying down and the enemy is so ready. I realized that if he goes up to heaven to talk to Jesus, he can get into my mind. Kama una helmet of salvation.
Yeah.
But me niko nayo, so I don't know how he got to my mind. But he told me, kuna kitu hapa. So I'm sleeping. I'm like, I don't want to wake up. Yeah. I had that thought. That wasn't planted by God, but I learned how to tell thoughts that are planted by God and thoughts that are planted by the enemy.
Yeah.
And I was like, this God who came that I may have life and life in abundance. This God who's so merciful that he's probably saved me from a whole time of misery, because I understand marriage is forever. 33 years is a very short time compared to the other 40 that I have to go on with someone who's the wrong partner. And so I realized how desperately we need to seek God over and above just being a believer, over and above just living well and being clean of, no alcohol, no sex, no.
Yeah.
Those big sins that we've decided as Kenyans are the big sins, the big five.
Yeah. As Christians.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sana ni Kenyans. Watu wengine wako sawa. Wanapendana, wanaenda wanazishi pamoja, wanaenda kwa pastor, wako, anyway. Yeah. But I think I'm just saying this to highlight that there's nothing I've done that I've done on my own. It's just been God's goodness and his mercy. And his mercy is new every morning.
Yeah.
So for anyone even who maybe has walked away from the faith or is feeling lost, you just have to get up and you try again. People will talk today, tomorrow they forget.
Yeah.
Of course, our generation doesn't forget, but it's so keen to me in the past few years, especially when I started now serving on now like at Hope. It was so keen for me to have a relationship. Juu mi ndo naamsha watu asubuhi 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Our Father who art in heaven,
Maombi.
Hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come. Na mi mwenyewe sija thy kingdom come. I think there's something that switched inside me, that I'm not saying I've been holier than thou. Mi mpasta wangu aliniambia neck up ni sawa, so nikimit msee sawa. Pasta wangu aliniambia hivyo. Unless uko na corrections, post in the comments. But I'm joking, Dad, Mom, I'm not doing that. No, I'm joking. Not joking. Anyway.
I'm going to send this to your mom.
No, please.
Please give me this clip. I send it to her mom.
No. But I think you hear what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There's such a pursuit for the kingdom and for God and for what he would have us do and where he'd have us be.
Yeah.
And just completely abandon and be like, Lord, leo ni aje form.
Yeah. That's so good.
Form.
That's so good.
Tutadu.
Yeah.
Form. Yeah.
That's excellent.
So that abandon, I feel it's my survival tactic. Kusema Mungu, wewe ndo ulinicreate. Mimi sikuwa hapo ukinicreate. Okay, sometimes it sounds like this.
Yeah.
Between me and him. So uliniekanga unataka. And then someone calls you. Kerry, we need you to come and speak to the teens at Sitam where or at this institution or at this. I'm like, oh, sawa. Next, what do?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it's that faithing it that he may allow me survive mpaka hapa.
I like that, faithing it. Not faking it.
No, faithing it. I'm gonna use that. Fake. If you ugly. Oh, sorry. That's what I'm talking about. Sorry.
We're supposed to lift up people, man.
I'm sorry.
Build up people.
Faithing it. Faithing it, Ragu. But
I like that.
Also, thanks, man. When you gave a chance to Ragu. Like, that's how the kingdom should be. I feel like the gospel industry became a place of hostility, and that's why other people they rebel kabisa.
Yeah.
Nakumbuka kuna time Willy Paul alikaba hapo Kubamba. Kaniambia, although that was hosting him, it was a live show. I can't remember. Baliambia, Kerry, munitengeneze chai.
Hiya.
Hey. First of all, because I'm a woman. Secondly, I'm older than you. Thirdly, this is not a restaurant. It's a radio station. Like he was such a loving, cool person that we knew.
Yeah.
But there's a crop of people who their mantra is hate.
Yeah.
Most I've never seen you hating on anyone, even if they were lost or they were any other way. I feel like there's somewhere kuna mali tu tumepotea kidogo with how we are showing love.
Yeah.
and how we are harassing people. Kuna mahali tu kidogo we are so quick
to judge.
If I was judged or had that way, mimi ningetoka niende secular by the way. Kabisa.
Yeah.
Na niseme mimi TV host mnoma. Yes, 10 out of 10 naweza ichapa. Hata ifike hata 1 a.m.
You know, the sad thing is, or the crazy thing is, it's true. You would kill it.
Murder.
Yeah, you would murder it.
But I've gotten so much love from the community, and I don't know how many other people have had that opportunity.
Yeah.
Memes kidogo tumemulika alafu hao watu hata wengi wao, there's people who was asking, are you asking about that secular past or that person who has sinned? Are you asking because you want to become a believer or because unataka tu udaku? Because it's none of your business. You're not a part of our family.
Yeah.
So who are you to criticize?
Yeah.
Like you're not in the fold. And you're the first one to talk about Christians are not doing this, Christians are doing this. We mwenyewe aujai hata sema kawe ni believer ama si believer.
Yeah.
And by the way, me Jibu people, I stopped the thing for, just be the bigger person. No, I'm not the bigger person. I'm petty as hell. I'm petty. Let's go. Let's do it. It's okay.
Yeah.
Remember me, like right on my tombstone, she was petty. It's fine. I don't care.
Kerry was petty.
Oh, in a rhyme matter. But I don't understand why, and the audacity of people in secularism, like, when guys are harassing, let's say Holy Dave, for example. And you're seeing the people who are commenting there. I'm like, is he your spiritual leader? Do you submit under his authority?
Yeah.
Like, where are you coming? Who dragged you? Which cat dragged you out of your house?
Yeah.
But I'm a defender of my family.
Of the brethren.
Of the
and
brethren.
And the sisterins.
And we have to do it, Moz.
Yeah, we do.
We can't nyamaza. We have to look out for another because sisi ndo mi nimejianika by the way. So uko na expectation, I have to do this, I have to be like this, Kerry I have to wear a dress. There's a kid. Tunamaliza?
Yeah.
Tunamaliza sahi?
It's okay. You can finish this one.
There's a kid, I was in Kuinda, the slum in Karen.
Yeah.
It's quite fancy though. Like what slum? Anyway, I was in Kuish.
Yeah.
And I was in pants and a long sweater. I was decent. This kid asked
I think it's good to clarify that pants, she means trousers.
Oh yeah. Si panty. So this kid came to me and we were sharing the four spiritual laws and I was preaching to her mom who's a shopkeeper. And the mom was quite convicted. So she kept really, she was very accepting of the message. That was very interesting. But this kid asked me, mi niko na swali nataka kukuuliza, so watu wa ghetto. Kambe uliza. Sasa nipo mtu anaenda church na trao. This girl is like 9, 10, 11 marks.
That's good.
Nikamwambia ni swali poa sana. But number 1, kuna places zenye hawakubali na ni place yenye wame create for their own reason. So tunaheshimu hivyo.
Yeah.
But ni poa ulani ile place unaenda kwanza. So kuna ile wisdom. But pia kuna an aspect of decency. Unaweza vaa trouser, haga yote iko nje. This is because she knows. She knows what she's asking.
Yeah.
Alafu nikamwambia number 2, kuna aspect ya roho yako. Unaweza vaa dress, but hiyo roho ni black, ni chafu. Haina love, haina patience, haina kindness, haina goodness, haina gentleness, haina any fruit of the spirit.
Yeah.
So number 1 nikamwambia tengeneza ndani, then ukienda kutoka nje, angalia ni wapi unaenda na uva hivyo. Mimi sana nilikuwa nakamkuishi, lazima nitembe huku, nipande huku, kuna place wapandai huko juu, there's a library, a part of the PCA, Kuinda Church I've built, huko with a guy called Chris. As in kuna nini? Kuna place yenye unaenda, na itabaki umeflow nayo.
Yeah.
But nikamwambia hope nimekujibu. But I knew she was asking me because she saw me preaching to the mom, telling her about Jesus and everything.
And you're wearing trousers.
Like, and you're wearing trousers.
Yeah. Maybe you were the first person
she ever saw preaching in trousers.
A girl
I know.
Who's wearing trousers.
Because she was genuinely...
Yeah.
Because, that's when you pick on the side, you see this one is really listening, this one is listening. So even you... Uneka voice ikwe louder kidogo.
Yeah.
So not only talking to one person.
Yeah.
And I was like, we've made church about trousers and skirts.
Unfortunately.
Oh Lord, have mercy.
Sometimes that's how our society is.
Have mercy, Lord. Yeah. Have mercy.
Yeah.
But anyway, mimi nataka kushow watu wote wenye wanajaribu kutafuta watu wangu wa gospel na wakamia, mimi ni ule mbaya. Na kuna place mzanipeleka. Budangu na madhangu wananipenda.
God anakupenda.
God anapenda, Moz ananipenda. We nani?
Nakupenda dadangu.
We nani? Yeah, so no more criticizing because we rarely criticize our own.
Yeah.
And if we criticize our own, he's ours. We can do it.
Yeah.
But if I'm not saying anything about the person, you have no right. That's my bro, maze. Ataka simpendi.
Even if the issues are konazo.
Atakama simpendi.
Yeah.
Ni bro wangu. Ama ni sister yangu.
Kweli kabisa.
Yeah.
This has been good, Kerry.
It's been so good, man.
Thank you so much for coming. Aki, waende mimi nitashukuru kahawa ingine, bro.
Okay.
Aki andiski lakini ni sawa. But guys, thank you so much for joining us for the podcast today. I've been hanging out with this amazing, beautiful lady. Her name is Kerry Kagiri.
That's me, Miss Kerry Kagiri.
You better recognize, y'all. Holding it down and up, if you're not on the ones and twos, but on the DJ Moz Podcast this wonderful day.
Moz nifundisha ku DJ.
Yeah, sijali, si lazima ujue kila kitu. Zingine maze tunakukazia.
Nataka kwenda heaven empty.
Utamea pembe jo.
Utaringa.
Utaringa. Utakuwa ukimix pale, alafu wewe ni mkali kudance. Maze.
Kuimba.
Uta hype. You can sing.
Buda.
Zingine tuachie.
Sawa.
Zingine tuachie tafadhali tungari na wewe, si ndio? Akiwaene mimi tashukuru maze kahawa, si ndio? Asante sana maze. Thank you so much for coming for the show.
Thank you. And well done. Thank you so much for doing this, man.
No, I love it.
It's important.
You know, I've actually come to love this space. And I celebrate you, Kagiri.
Thank you.
Big things are going.
Big things are going.
You know, I'm so happy about also how you're into theater now.
Yeah.
I enjoyed watching your play at ICC, the Easter.
You know, school fees, imelipwa. You know, I studied theater arts and film technology.
Oh, yes.
So,
yes.
Finally.
You did such a good job. What was your character again?
Fire Mama.
Yes, you were Fire Mama.
Mi huanga yule mbaya.
Mm-hmm.
Original Don't Dada. Imagine kina Alice Kimanzi wrote this song.
1, 2, 3.
Here to set this place on fire.
Tuanze tena wewe. 1, 2, 3.
Fire Mama.
Hey.
Mi huanga yule mbaya.
Hey.
Original Don't Dada.
Hey.
Here to set this place on fire. Fire. Fire Mama.
I'm with the Fire Mama. Guys, go ahead and like, subscribe yani to the podcast today. Tafadhali, I'll see you. Alafu, of course, do go ahead and support us. You can see how you can be able to support us yani financially.
Maze, hii episode ikiget mado, mi nataka 10% utuangu. Tumedi kwa hii episode. Tumisikume ka 10%.
Ile mkwanzero nimetumia na wewe.
Ka 10% utuangu.
But this is mind.
So say, as you give to this podcast, like you're giving to me. And ni pay bill about my goods.
Ni pay bill.
Kadi pay bill, siko na place ya account.
Yeah.
And Kerry's episode. De wajue ni sawa. Kerry's episode.
Kerry akona 10% kwa hii, si ndio? Yeah, bana. But guys, thank you so much for your love. And check out the DJ Moz merchandise, tafadhali, si ndio?
Hey.
What do you think?
Buddha, it's Kali, but I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Really nice.
This is it.
In Christian, sorry. What the heaven?
That's... You took the words out of my mouth.
Nimekuzoea. Ulinienjoy nikiwa 16. Niko na so many years sa kuku.
Nikiwa sweet 16.
Buddha tulihost TV show pamoja.
Imagine.
That was fun.
You know, yesterday, I'm going to finish with this one. So yesterday, I went to pick up the seats that we're sitting on today.
Yeah. Ooh, fancy schmancy. We're rich.
And the two young guys who were working in that carpentry shop.
Right.
They were in Olympic High School.
When we went
there. They were like, man, ulikuja chuo, mazi ukiona ule dame. This is yesterday. Ukiona ule dame, kamwambia nani, Kerry Kagiri. Yeah, Kerry, mazi ilikuwa kali sana. So.
One more. I met a guy who influences over 8,000 people now. He was in Dago when we went.
DJs.
And he's like, Kerry, you spoke into my life. I gave my life to Christ that day. It wasn't a joke. Right now, the guy influences over 8,000 people. I met him at Pastor Frank Ondere's church. I think he does ministry.
Up near Kilimani area.
Yes.
That's awesome.
The guy told me, Kerry, do you know who you are? Like, you came to my high school.
Imagine, Kerry.
Oh, Lord.
That's the influence.
Mtu wangu.
That's the influence.
Kaipole ni wenye nilimisbehave or to repent. Sitarudia tena. Ya ukweli.
Mnaweza join Kerry in the light size.
Follow me at Kerry Kagiri on all my social media platforms. Most definitely. Love you. Shameless like love you too. Iko sawa. Enda maandamano sasa. Twende! Hey!